Everyone, and welcome to our live match preview show on Football Tour Podcast. My name is Ozzy, and I'm your host for this evening. After a fantastic win against Frankfurt in the Champions League last night, Liverpool are set to focus on their next fixture, which is against Brentford this Saturday at 8 p.m. UK time. So during the show, we will analyze our opponents, which is of course Brentford, see how they've done so far uh, this season with their new manager and Keith Andrews. We'll also present the team news, predicted lineups, and I'll also reveal my score predictions at the end. So, in terms of Brentford, in terms of how they performed so far this season, they've not done bad, to be fair, considering they've got a new manager in Keith Andrews. They're currently 13th in the league. They've played 8 games so far. They've won three. 1-0 win against Villa, 3-1 against United, and 2-0 against West Ham. They drew once, which was against Chelsea with a 2-2 draw there. Unfortunately, they've lost 4 games: 3-1 to Forest, 2-1 to Sunderland, 3-1 to Fulham, and 1-0 to Man City. 3 out of 4 were away defeats there. The home defeat was against Man City. And in terms of their recent game, it was a 2-0 victory against the Hammers. So a team that, are showing some good form, but also have shown some frailties in their team as well. And in regards to Liverpool, to state the obvious, Liverpool have been in shocking form in recent weeks. 3 defeats on the bounce in the Premier League, but Liverpool got themselves a confidence boost after last night's 5-1 win against Frankfurt. Slot tweaked the formation that most of us fans have been screaming for some time, and thankfully the voices were heard. Some positive performances last night from the likes of Florian Wirtz, who provided 2 assists, Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, Ekitike, just to name a few. So I hope the team has turned a new leaf and can go back to winning ways to regain momentum in the title chase. So let's have a look in terms of the team news. In regards to Brentford, Hickey was missing against West Ham last weekend, but I believe he could be in contention to start in this fixture. Milambo and Makoma remain on the sidelines for the B. In terms of Liverpool, unfortunately, Frimpong and Isak suffered injuries last night against Frankfurt, so they are out of action for the foreseeable future. Frimpong has a hamstring injury and Isak picked up a groin injury, so hopefully we'll get some clarity in terms of the length of those injuries. In terms of other players in the squad, Liverpool are hopeful that Groundberg will return to the team after missing last night's game through an ankle injury. And Allison remains on the sidelines, should be available, I would say, next month at some point. And unfortunately, Leone is a long term absentee with an ACL injury. So let's move on and let's present the graphics to showcase the predicted lineups for both teams. And we'll start with the home team, of course, which is Brentford. In terms of the goalkeeper, it's an old face that we remember. Well, he's not quite so old, but as in, he's been playing. He played for Liverpool for a number of years, and that is, of course, Kelleher. So he will definitely be starting in goal for Brentford. And to be fair, he's done a decent job um, since his transfer there. So yeah, we'll see him in action tomorrow. Now, in terms of the formation, I've got 4-2-3-1 here, but I don't think that's the formation that they're going to go for. Um, I had it presented as a default formation, but I think from what I've seen, they played a 5-3-2 formation against Chelsea and Man City. So I'm expecting a similar shape against Liverpool. So let's switch that up and present it as a 5-3-2 formation. I think that's the shape that they're going to go with. So let's put some players into that back line there. So in terms of the right side, I'm expecting it to be Coyote, the player that they signed from Fiorentina. An interesting player, to be fair. He was linked to Liverpool last summer as a potential signing. So, let's see what he's got in his locker. And alongside, I think it will be Collins, and another former Red in Vandenberg. He'll be playing now. I think he'll play on this side, to be fair, if I can to rotate the players. Maybe not, just switch them around myself manually. Uh, in terms of the left side, I'm going to go for a player that has played left back on quite a few occasions for Brentford. Um, Instead, he's also played right back as well. So he's a player I think will be put into the left-sided centre back role in this formation, and the player that will provide the creativity and the width on that left-hand side. I think it will be Hickey if he is fully fit. If it's not Hickey, it could be Lewis Potter who plays in that role. Pinnock is also an option as well. So I'll say quite a few names that could take up that spot, but I'm going to go. Um, Actually, is Hickey a left back or right back? Let's have a look. I think he's a right back, so maybe not Hickey actually. Um, let's go with Lewis Potter. I think he would be the one that gives them that attacking spark on that left hand side. So I'm going to go with Lewis Potter on that left hand side. Now, in terms of the midfield, I mentioned Kelleher, Vandenberg, two former Liverpool players there. We've got another one, Captain Hindo. Um, he will be playing against his former side in Liverpool in this fixture. And in the middle of the park, it's going to be Yamalyuk. I think he'll play in this one. He's been pretty much a mainstay player in this team. On the left side, I'm going to go for Damsgaard, who took time to really stamp his name in this Brentford team. But after good Euros he had a few years ago, he's definitely showcasing the talent that he possesses. So yeah, good to see him playing in some good form in recent weeks and also last season as well. To be fair, so that's the midfield three, and I'm expecting Damsgaard to occupy that left hand side, but also drift inside. To help provide creativity for the two attackers. On the left side is going to be Sade. I think he's going to be playing uh, in that sort of wide forward role. So you'll see him probably going a bit more to the left on occasions, but he'll definitely be a focal point in this team. And alongside him will be Igor Thiago, who was signed last summer, but didn't really get any game time. But he's definitely, made his presence known in this new season. So that is the predicted lineup for Brentford. Now, in terms of danger men or players to look out for, of course, the two attackers, very different in profile. You've got Sade, who's predominantly a left winger that can play um, in a sort of strike force alongside another striker. But he will definitely be occupying that left channel more so than not. And Thiago is a goal scorer. He's a player that's going to be inside the box, trying to sniff out any sort of goal scoring opportunities. So he's that fox in the box. So we definitely got to make sure we keep him quiet. He's a very physical striker. So Konate and Van Dijk will need to be on top of their game in terms of the midfield. Damsgaard for me has that ball carrying ability where he can dribble past a few players, he can spread that final ball to the attacker. So he's a player definitely to look out for. And of course, Henderson, we can't doubt his qualities. He's a player that has still showcased, he's still got it in terms of fizzing long range passes to the attackers. So he'll definitely have that ready, if required. And in terms of the back line, Collins is a dominant, centre back there. So we've got to make sure that we perform well against him. And then Lewis Potter could be a player that comes through sort of deeper roles and finds himself in goal scoring opportunities. So he's a player to look out for. So this is not going to be a walk in the park, in my opinion. Of course, with a back five, it's going to be a very stubborn and very sort of constructed defense there. And it's going to be a difficult task to break down, but I'm sure Liverpool, with the win last night, will have the confidence to go through and unlock the defense that Brentford will present tomorrow. So yeah, so this is my predicted lineup. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. Now moving on, let's present the Liverpool lineup. So I'm sticking with a 4-2-4-2 formation. I think I wanted a 4-4-2 diamond, if I'm being brutally honest. But the 4-4-2 formation worked yesterday, and I think it should be tested again. I know it was against Frankfurt, not the highest of caliber of teams, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and that's exactly what we did last night. So in regards to this game, I'm hoping um, Arne Slot sticks to his guns, continues his formation, see how it evolves going forward. So in terms of the team selection, I'm going to go with Mamadashvili and goal. No, who's surprised there, as Allison is out for the foreseeable future. Right back, I would have gone for Frimpong if he was fully fit, but Bradley will start in this game after a decent cameo off the bench last night. Left back, I'm actually going to go with Robertson. I'm going to stick with him. I was very, very impressed with his performance yesterday. So I feel like he deserves to start in the following fixture. Alongside him will be Van Dijk and Ibu Kanate uh, to complete the backline there. Uh, in terms of your wide players, I'm going to go with Florian Wirtz, playing on that right side like he did last night. I'm going for Cody Gakpo, who also got himself an assist and a goal against Frankfurt. In terms of double pivot, I'm sticking what was there yesterday. I'm going with some Bosley and Curtis Jones. Gravenberch, 50-50 to start or be available for this game. Um, if he is available for this one, I'll have him on the bench and then start in the following game, just because I don't want to rush um, sort of the player into the team so soon after picking up a minor injury. It was a twisted ankle, but I don't want to um, rush him into the team so soon. After good performances from Jones and Szoboszlai, I think they both warrant a start together once again. And in terms of your attackers, Ekitike will start after scoring a fantastic goal last night. I would have gone for Isak, but he's not available. So for me, I am going to go with Mohamed Salah. And it'll be interesting to see, if he is being selected for this role because think this will suit his skill set to the T, especially in terms of how he currently plays the game. When he's playing out wide, he's having to work more in terms of tracking back and trying to take the full back on. But if he's playing in this sort of double, in this strike force formation here, he will be able to focus on one thing, and that is, scoring goals and being more direct in a more central position. So I feel like this would really work for Salah going forward. And yeah, I know yesterday he got some negativity with the fans. Uh, it's a weird one because I didn't really see too much of it, but of course, you hear it and people will tell you as well. Um, I think the abuse basically came from, him not passing the ball to Florian Wirtz, which is stupid if I'm being brutally honest. And then after the game, he kindly removed an image or profile picture of one of his social media accounts. I feel like we're clutching with these little things here. I don't think there's anything to it, to be brutally honest. Um, and if the fans have turned on Salah, shame on you, because Salah has been a player that has given his all for a number of years. He might not be in best of form right now, uh, but he is human. Players do go through little blips here and there, and I think that's what he's going through right now. He's just out of form. Once he's able to regain a bit more confidence, he'll be back to his old ways of scoring and assisting for the team. So I think we've got to be a bit more mature and not just follow the crowd. And when I say the crowd, I'm talking about rival fans because there's always a narrative or an agenda when it comes to Mohamed Salah. So, let's not get influenced by, fans that only have negativity to say about Liverpool. Um, yes, he's not performed, but a lot of our players haven't performed to their ability. I don't see that same energy for the likes of McAllister that he should be sold or he's not getting any abuse of that nature. So, let's be a bit more sensible when it comes to criticizing our players because look, no one's not everyone is sort of like not immune to criticism. Salah will get his criticism if he doesn't perform. I've always been very honest with my assessments of players' performances on a game-to-game basis. But what I won't do is I won't paint the narrative that I want him sold. I don't think that's the right way to look at it. If that is something that happens further down the line, we can discuss that, in the near future. But right now, I think, we can only focus on what we have, which is the current team, and try and get back to winning ways. All this transfer stuff, when it hits, close to January, we can talk about it more in more detail. But right now, the focus should be gaining more points on the board and try and climb up that table even further. So that's how it should be looked at. That's how the team should be, looking towards this game, with that focus of winning, and nothing else should be, in their thoughts right now. So this is my predicted lineup. I'm going for 4-4-2 with Salah and Ekitike up top. So let me know in the comments what team you would go for, and let me know what you think of my formation there. Just got a couple comments there from Daz. Big up Daz as always. This is his predicted lineup. He's gone for Mohamed Mashvili. He- You're gonna come up with different names every week, aren't you, in regards to that's quite a funny one. Bradley, Ibu, Virgil, Robbo, Dom, Cody, Verts, Jones, Hugo, and Mo. So you've got the exact same team as me there. 4-4-2, but play Verts in the middle. Okay, as in as a striker, you're suggesting? That's interesting. I would rather he stick to the right hand side, because when he played in that role, it gave him the freedom to roam inside and play a bit more of a free role. So I feel like it suited his game really well. And I've already seen shameless United fans or content creators talking absolute nonsense, saying that the two assists that he produced yesterday doesn't count because it was in Germany. Just shut up, honestly. The narrative of you know trying to put Liverpool down in any opportunity is getting boring now. I'm seeing more Liverpool content from non-Liverpool fans online nowadays. It's an absolute joke. So paint the narrative however you want. Florian Wirtz has picked up form, and I think he will really showcase his talent in the coming games. And a lot of people will need to eat humble pie, and I truly believe that. So, let's see how he performs. I would rather see him playing that right side role, but if he was playing the more central role alongside Katike, it wouldn't be a bad situation, because what I noticed is that they did form a good partnership to the Wirtz and the Katike. They were combining really well, so it could be something that works. But then does that mean Salah goes on that right hand side? Potentially. I just think, in terms of being a goal scorer, Mo Salah's more lethal in front of goal. So I would go with him playing a bit more further up and let Verts play midfield and be the creative spark in that team. So that would be my setup going forward. Now, in terms of the score predictions, I'm definitely going for Liverpool, and I think we showed a good run of sort of form last night from a lot of players, which was very, very positive to see. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for the Reds. Now, in terms of the goal scorers, it's going to be Shard or Sade. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, to be fair. I've got to double check. I think it's Sade. He'll score for Brentford, and I'm going for Ekitike and Florian Wirtz to wrap up the win for Liverpool. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I end the show, Das has given his score prediction. He's gone for a 3-1 victory with Hendo scoring for Brentford, which is interesting. Mohamed Salah grabbing 2 goals, and Virgil van Dijk also getting on the score sheet, which is an interesting selection of goal scorers there. So thank you, Daz, for your comments and your engagement as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, in terms of upcoming content, I hope to do the watch along this Saturday, but if not, we will definitely do a match reaction show either on Saturday evening or Sunday as well. So, best thing to do is hit that notification bell so you know exactly what time the shows will begin. And yes, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.